You can just click on it to stop. Okay. How's it going, Larry?
Pretty good, thank you. How about you guys?
We're good. Do you know Jacob?
No, I can't see Jacob.
Oh, well, there, he just waved to you.
Visible seat.
Yeah, why don't you move the empty seat, Jake?
So Larry has been on the Greenway Committee for longer than me. How long have you been on the Greenway Committee?
I don't remember. Quite a while.
You're an OG. I'm rather new to it, and
Oh, you're
Jacob's
the
even newer.
workhorse, though.
What's that?
You're the workhorse, though. How come it keeps switching to me? Let's see, view. Okay, I can see you now, Jacob.
Are you mobile, Larry? Are the knees working?
Yes, yes. Well, not perfectly, but a lot better than before. I still can't sit Japanese style very well.
Well, okay. Is that crucial part of your day-to-day life?
Yeah, it is because I have to do it every day.
Okay. All right.
Can you tell me on Zoom, how do I make it keep you guys in that? Every time I talk, the screen changes to me.
I don't know.
Okay, speaker.
Sorry.
I'm
I don't
talking
know.
and okay, I guess it's okay now. It's not doing it.
Is that Lynn, do you think, who's pulling up? Does Lynn have a specialized license plate that says Lynn?
Yes, I think she
Okay,
does.
so she's coming in as well.
Lynn Bird.
She's
And I
also
was
one
going to
of
say
the
that's her
OG.
email address too.
Okay, she's also one of the OG Greenway Committee people.
I was going to be there today, and then just Leslie had to leave just a few minutes ago for a conference in DC, but her flight had been changed, and I was waiting here to find out if I had to go pick her up and stuff. But she's on her way, but she's got a 2-hour delay.
Okay.
So otherwise, I'd have been down there.
Hello, Lynn.
Hi. Oh, there's Larry. Hi, Mike.
Hello, Lynn.
How are you?
Hi, Mike.
I just went out and looked at all the parks.
You did?
Yeah, it's a nice time to see them.
Great. Do you remember Jacob?
Oh, hi, Jacob.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
Yeah. Yeah, they're empty on a day like today.
Well,
Yeah.
it is a little wet in people's defense.
Yeah, nobody's.
It is always nice when you go to the parks and you see people using them, though.
Oh, yeah.
Especially the new
Yeah.
park. I definitely get a kick out of that.
Marion Harthill.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
That's the best equipped.
Yeah.
That park really, we really put some money into that one.
Yeah.
And I think the other parks could use a little
Right.
boost.
So Jacob got here a few minutes early, as did I, so I
Uh-huh.
chatted to him a little bit about what I'm sort of thinking about as the Greenway Committee's next job, and it's not small, it's kind of big. And that is to create a plan for everything, because what I didn't like about some of the park stuff that's happened in the past 10 years is that it was unplanned.
Well, it was just in a vacuum, we did it park by park,
No, but
without,
sometimes chairs were just placed without people saying, this is where the chair should be, or this is where.
a bench.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, I didn't feel like there was a cohesive plan for each
You're
part.
probably right. No, I mean, we did it as the need came along, or the opportunity came along, and there really wasn't a master plan.
Right. So I definitely, it's not a small task, and I don't expect us to finish today, but I really want to create something like what the town has, which is their master plan. And it's two things. It's both a plan for each park, so where each park's going to go in the next time we do, put some money
Anything.
into it.
Yeah.
And then also the connectivity between the parks.
Yeah.
Having a trail as best as we can. Is there something? Oh,
If that's possible.
oh, that's you.
Yeah, I may
Recording?
want to share my screen.
Okay,
Well, can you hit that? I can't even hit the
you
mark.
got it. Thank you. Thank you for noticing.
You got it recording?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you. I don't usually do the zooming stuff, so.
Do you need to share screen or if you already got it?
I would have to request sharing if I wanted to.
We can share it.
Okay, go ahead.
Do you want input today about the individual parks? Having gone out and surveyed them all? I just went out and looked at them.
Yeah,
and have
I
these-
mean, I want to
You all set?
both talk about the things that are our priorities, think about the parks globally, and think about how we're going to really create some true documentation, so like a true report.
Yeah.
Similar to what the town does when the town outsources it, when it's just us. So that's the difference. But yeah, like, why don't we start with people's thoughts about what we really need to.
What's on the ground right now, I think, is a good place to start, and,
Do we want to go park by park?
Yeah.
Or start with general things?
What do you want to do?
I'd rather do, let's do
Let's go
park by
park by park.
park, and then open it up.
yeah, and then, I mean, maybe things will emerge if we go park by park to see where there are commonalities of needs, commonalities of issues.
Do you mind if I share my screen? I have
Go
the
ahead.
Greenway map.
Excuse me, just a minute, please. Excuse me. Can you hear
Yeah.
me?
Yeah,
I can't see anybody now. Something happened.
Yeah, Jacob's about to share his screen.
Hold on a minute. I can't find the Zoom.
Okay.
you're still on, Larry. You're
Man.
you're just a
When I go to
postage
Zoom, it
stamp.
tells me to sign up for Zoom.
What? No, it just says join, doesn't it?
No, I can hear you talking and
We're seeing you. You're on.
where are you?
I don't know, on your screen, are you sure you have your video clicked and you've got your?
No, I don't even have a page with the meeting here.
Oh, well, that's weird because we can see you.
I think it's probably minimized. I think it's somewhere. All right, well, while you look for it, Jacob, what did you want to tell us about?
Oh, I was just thinking, as we go through each park, I could pull up.
Yeah, that's great.
And we could just look at, just.
Okay.
The aerial.
Yeah.
So I have one big idea.
Uh-huh.
And I actually don't know what park it goes in, but I'm always wanting to bring people into the village. And I would really like to be the pickleball central of the area of Tompkins County. It's hugely popular,
Pickleball,
it's noisy,
yeah.
and so I think that Marion Hartel Park in the back
You could do a pickleball.
would be perfect.
There's a lot of green space that just requires.
There's a lot of green space,
Yeah,
and we would really draw people in.
Let's start with Marion Hill.
yeah.
Marion Hartel.
I mean, that's our biggest park, that's our newest park, and we put the most infrastructure in that park
Okay, so what
by
did
far.
you see, Jacob, when you went there?
So my initial comments for that, there's just a lot of open lawn.
Yep, that just requires maintenance.
Yeah.
Requires maintenance. It could probably be reduced more towards meadow. It would still get mowed, but only once or twice a year.
Yep.
Obviously, you would still mow the sports field, the areas immediately adjacent to.
I'm all for natural meadow for pollinators and all the rest,
Yep.
especially if we're not using.
Just kind of, so shrinking.
Because that reduces
Regular.
our carbon footprint as a village, and that helps our community, our climate smart
Yep.
efforts a lot.
So I think,
Great suggestion.
Yeah,
We
so-
gotta figure out where.
so Miriam Hartel seems like a good starting point for that. There's the whole I mean, if you look on the,
Are you sharing screen?
I am, if you can see the Google Earth map.
No, I don't.
Just picture it in your head, because you know what Marion Hotel looks like.
So there's the soccer field, and then there's the trail that goes around the soccer field. Everything downhill from that seems like it's just stormwater
It's retention.
retention.
Yep.
Does it really need to be mowed every single time they mow the
No.
soccer field?
It
It
does not.
could just be meadow.
It
You know,
can,
the nice thing about this idea is that we can enact it immediately. We could just make a recommendation to the
It's just
planning board.
do less.
I mean, I'm sure John would appreciate not having to mow as much
Yeah.
as he does have to mow, and because I'm gonna suggest more trees, and he doesn't like the idea of trees.
Because why?
Because you have to mow around them.
Okay, then it's perfect. And in addition,
We have lost a lot of, I'd like to
you can
just
add
say,
trees
you know,
to areas.
one of our basic overview issues is that we are losing forested landscape, and we have lost a large percentage in the village over the last 20 years since I've been here.
So one way to address the mowing and tree conflict is to establish sort of perimeters around the tree. If you're doing a typical residential landscape, right, you have sort of a mulch bed around the base.
Yeah, where you don't have to mow,
You don't have to mow right up tight to the trunk. And
it's fine.
it's a different type of maintenance, but
It actually keeps heavy equipment off the roots, too, because in Marion Hart's Hill, a lot of the roots are on the surface. The soil is so terrible that they tend to go just horizontally rather than down. And,
So wood chip
yeah,
beds around some of those mature trees.
mulch around the trees.
Okay,
That's a great idea.
yep.
If you have to pick weeds out of them, they'll eventually show weeds.
Yeah, like I said, it's a different type of maintenance. It's a more intermittent, it might be weeding once or twice a year, as opposed to mowing that area however often you mow, which is probably bi-monthly or something like that.
Bi-weekly.
Well, okay, yeah. This is sort of a long-term thing and a big picture thing, which is invasive species removal.
It's huge.
It's very labor intensive. It's a real pain in the neck. It's hard to do.
Yeah.
But Miriam Hartill, I'll pronounce it correctly.
Yeah.
Marianne,
Marianne.
Okay. Marianne Hartill. The park has a lot of that sort of brush edge condition,
Honeysuckle and
buckthorn,
and privet, and
Honeys.
the problem is, we could remove everything, and it's all invasive.
and it'll just grow right back.
Well, it'll grow right back, but then we don't have any cover.
Sure.
And as much as I hate the stuff, my property's covered with it, I can't keep up with it either.
Yeah.
But it is
Put in-
habitat.
What will we put in to sort of keep those out?
We just keep them out of our areas,
No, but I'm saying, let's say we make one suggestion, what if right now I'm already hearing that we're gonna probably want to address invasive species sooner rather than later, like in the next budget cycle, put that in for next year for the Greenway Committee Plan.
in all the parks.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking,
And all
that's what I'm
the
thinking.
peripheries.
I think it's more sort of a general maintenance practice of when it's convenient to remove it, you need to rip the roots out
Yeah.
fully.
You do.
You can't just be cutting.
Get a little backhoe in and just pull it out.
And then in terms of what you put in to replace it, I'm sure there's, I could name a number of good edge condition native species, but
Give me one or two.
scrub willow is a good one, particularly if it's a wet spot. Red twig dogwood,
Yeah, we have plenty of wet spots up there.
yeah.
I don't understand what that berm is for, that divides the area
Supposed to stop soccer balls from
rolling
going
into
on.
the playing area.
Yeah. That was it. And to also have a place where people could get on and view the game.
I guess, but there's no place to sit next to the soccer field, and there is a place to sit next to the soccer field up in Philip Dankert, and I think we ought to have a bench. There are at least 4 benches around the periphery trail, which are great, and how many people sit on those benches? Because they're way away from everything that's happening in the park.
Well, we have benches, I think that's not a hard ask at all.
And it can be an athletic bench, just a flat
Yeah.
bench, it doesn't have to be a fancy iron bench, just one where people can take their shoes off and their cleats and whatever. But I think there should be a bench there for people to
That's
sit
not a
up
hard
or
ask at
whatever.
all.
Yep.
Okay?
I also, go ahead, you're still talking.
I have a whole list. So.
Yeah, I do too, go ahead.
Let's do the whole list.
All right, so this is actually applies to a number of the parks. The pulling in for the parking directly off of the street is just generally not a good design practice from a safety perspective, because you have people, opening the trunks of their car and everything, and they're standing in the road. This is not an easy thing. This is a long-term, big picture, someday in the future. If there was ever a plan to redo the parking, I would pull it off the street so it's separated from the street. Now,
How
I
would
will
you
say,
do that? You'd have to take more parkland.
you would have
On the
to,
other hand, that is not a busy road. No.
exactly.
I was thinking.
But it is striped, which is kind of odd for a dead end.
It is what?
It's striped. So
Right,
there's.
I know,
there's
my street is
striping,
striped too.
which is kind of like, why is it? And when you stripe a road, it creates this mental feeling of people that, oh, this is a street I can.
When I first moved into my neighborhood, it was not striped, and then they striped it, and at first I absolutely hated it, but now I use it for my pickleball court. It all comes back to pickleball. I don't actually play that much pickleball, I play like once a year, but in the COVID, we played in the street, and we used those stripes, which I previously hated, because they make it not country, they make it seem like urban, like a little too urban, I didn't like it at all. But when I asked John about the striping, he said, which is a bummer, it's almost impossible to take out traffic measures once you put them in.
Right.
Because then you have too much liability. So
Okay.
now that it's striped, it's gonna remain striped, same with my neighborhood. Once they striped it, it's gonna be striped.
Yeah, so it's less of a concern here than in some other locations, because it is a dead end.
bummer.
It's,
Nankert does it right. Nankert.
You can pull in.
Pull into the parking area and
Right.
then you park
yep.
parallel to the road rather than.
But this is the kind of thing that we should think about, like, when we do park design, we will always pull the parking in kind of thing. Like, have just some principles that we have.
Right, that's a good one.
It's just a general safety recommendation, yeah. Trailhead markers, yeah, so there's connecting paths that go through to the other side to Dart Drive. And that trailhead has nothing.
No, and actually, there's no signage entering the park. There's no park rules at Marion Hartel.
Yeah, so
There should be a park rules sign.
There is.
Like there is at Nankert.
there is a park sign, though. There is
Yeah.
something that says Marion Hill.
Marion Hartel Park.
Marion
It
Hartel.
doesn't say anything about, dawn to dusk, pick up
Right.
after your, there is a pet waste,
Smoking.
there's a pet waste sign, but no smoking, pick up
Yeah.
your trash.
Yep.
So park rules would be one
Good
thing.
idea.
And pavilion use. I don't know if you have to reserve it if you're gonna have a
Pavilion
big
use rules.
event.
I was at the NICOM conference, the New York Conference of Mayors and Municipal Officers last week, and in one of the presentations, someone was saying that someone reserved their pavilion for a wedding, and people came and protested that day and refused to leave, like, this person's wedding was like,
I mean, they protested because somebody was already using the pavilion?
somebody, no, they were doing like one
protest.
of the protests, like no kings or whatever, but they refused to leave, and their wedding was literally like in the pavilion.
Oh,
And
that's
so,
funny.
yeah, it was like a First Amendment, it was in the First Amendment lecture that they brought that up.
As a wedding planner, I would look to see if there's gonna be a protest.
But how would you know, like, okay, yeah.
Plan, yeah.
And I don't think there was a wedding planner at the wedding.
That's funny.
It was the wedding in the park pavilion,
Yeah.
not usually wedding planners involved.
So
Okay,
some
anyway,
rules, even just something on the pavilion that says to
Pavilion use.
reserve, call, here's the number you
I don't
call.
think we reserve our pavilions,
the
that would
town of
be
Lansing-
another thing.
Or,
Have pavilion reservation rules.
yeah, a lot of municipalities will rent the pavilion, and it's not much, it's like
Yeah.
$20
Yeah.
for the day, but that's a little bit of revenue,
Yeah.
right? And,
Town of Lansing,
Should-
Myers Park has, you have to reserve those pavilions.
Yeah.
Yep.
You could use them during the day, but if someone has a reservation, you have to leave. They have priorities.
If they're getting married.
So we might have some policy like that, because we
I
have
don't
three
think we have,
pavilions.
as far as I know, there's no pavilion policy in the village right now. We
No.
can think about that as
Let's
well.
think about it.
Another thing that we have to do, yep.
well, anyway, to the original point, signage at the connecting gateways.
Yeah.
Right, and then there's this whole trail network that connects down to Churchill Drive,
Yep.
Graham
The
Road.
Janivar.
And that, again, the end of Janivar, if you didn't know it was there, you wouldn't
Right.
know it was there.
Nope.
There's no parking area, people just kind of pull off. It's a weird, like, it sort of looks like there was supposed to be a three-way
Yep,
road
yep.
connection somewhere in
Yeah,
that
and then it
space.
ends.
And instead, it's a walking trail connection, which is lovely, but it
Don't know
should be
what it-
formalized a little bit. It could
Yep.
actually feel like an entrance to the park.
In some places, I think
Trailhead.
there are signs, but not everywhere.
We definitely need a trail network with signs, with
Coordinated.
connectivity, coordinated plan.
And I think
Unified.
Absolutely.
I think some of the crosswalks, this crosswalk
I
specifically,
can't see your.
so it's
screen
the,
share.
it's the first crosswalk for the park.
When
as
you first pull
come
in.
down Northwoods Drive. It is not connected to the sidewalk.
No, why would it cross there?
I don't
I
know, but
can't see, hello, Jacob. I can't see your screen share.
Larry, we're not gonna be able to help you with that. It's definitely on your
It's
end.
on your end. We don't know what the problem is.
You're just gonna have to
I can
find your.
see you and I can see Jacob's logo,
Huh.
but I can't see the screen.
You
share.
must have something, turned off on your Zoom system, so. Anyway,
But it's just, he's noting that the crosswalk and the sidewalk do not align, and that is something that we should fix.
that there should be a pad there.
a pad, some pavement for accessible connectivity.
That's actually a smaller job that we can also
Yeah.
That
put
should
on.
be-
It just, we have to make a list of all the jobs that we need to do.
Yeah, those are the main ones specific to that park. I have a whole other list that kind of cover all the parks, but that's my specific list for this one.
Okay,
Then I have, for the same park, I'd like to think about renaming the park for
really?
Marion and Dawn.
Oh, we did.
Oh, you
We
did?
already did that.
Oh, all right, okay.
Oh, I thought you were, I thought,
No,
okay,
no,
never
no,
mind what I
never
thought
mind,
when you
no,
said
go
that.
No, I just thought, I hadn't realized that. Dawn
Yeah, in
was
fact, we announced it at his,
Memorial service. I
yes,
wasn't
for his
there,
relatives,
so I
and
missed
yeah, and there's a new sign. It looks like the old sign.
Okay.
And we asked them if they wanted it to be Don or Donald, and I don't remember the answer.
Everyone knew him as
And
Don.
if they wanted Don and Marion, or Marion and Don, we asked the family what they wanted, and then that's what,
Have they said?
we've changed the name of the park.
Is it Marion and Don
I
then?
don't remember, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
okay. Because Marion came
I think
first.
it's Don and Marion.
The other thing I'd love to see is that we plant some specimen trees, one in each of their honor and one for Ann Furry.
That's
We've never
what-
done anything for Ann
Yes.
Furry. She was one of our first mayors. She was really, really
Specimen.
instrumental in getting the village going.
Trees.
Memorial trees?
I mean specimen trees, and like this one, this is in honor of a memorial to Rita Schmidt.
Don and Marion. Okay,
So each of them,
trees would you,
I would recommend either red oaks, they're big and they're robust, and
Red oak.
they have the best wildlife value
Okay.
for insect populations,
huh?
or tulip poplars. They're straight, they're gorgeous, they're big shade trees, and they're a welcome relief in the hot sun. And I think, specimen trees like that can help us put in more forest without planting a forest, because we're creating shade, especially during heat emergencies, that
Okay.
kind of thing.
I don't think that'll be a hard sell either.
I don't either, and they should be a decent caliper. The thing
What
is,
about location?
I was thinking toward the back, where there's, somewhere, not where the pickleball court is.
Could you point to where you?
Yeah, let me,
Because that's one of the things I don't want to, I want to have a plan for what we're doing and have it, right, not conflict with other
a
things.
lot of shadows here, so we had to take a lot of trees out to do the park. But there's plenty of space, like here.
So near the front,
More
so
toward the playground.
west side playground.
Toward the playground, it doesn't have to be at the forest edge, because that's where the trail is anyway. It's also possible that something could be planted in the retention area, a tree that likes being in water, maybe some red maples or something. Yeah, and then if you thought about a pickleball court, it would be what, in here somewhere?
Well, I was thinking of, okay, so my issue with pickleball courts is that they're noisy.
Oh, they are.
And so one of the reasons I like it for Marion Hartel Park is that there's so much space.
yeah.
And so you have to, also people are lazy. So if you put the pickleball courts here, no one's gonna use them, right? But if you put them here, it's not really fair to those people in the apartment. So I wanna put them in a spot that's far enough away, and I don't actually know caliber noise-wise, what there might be some recommendations for pickleball courts, because I don't want it to be a nuisance in
The
any way.
neighborhood might really object.
Well, I think that they would really appreciate it, actually, the owners probably, because I think it's a draw, as long as it's far enough away. Well, the other thing I was thinking about is the other park.
Well, you mean Ned Hickey? That's a possible, but the other thing is, can you zoom out again, Jacob, on this? So we get more of a view.
I'm sorry again to interrupt, but if Jacob is showing something on his screen, I have a screen here, an empty screen with Jacob's name on it. I don't understand why I can't see what he's.
I don't either.
Let me, why don't I,
I mean, I could stop sharing and try, start again.
can I remove somebody from the Zoom?
You're fine, it's gotta be on his line because you're getting it up here, so it's happening. So it's gotta be something
If I
on
remove
his end.
Jacob's
It's something
logo.
wrong with your system, Larry. I don't think I can help you. What, actually,
Maybe Larry can sign off and you can readmit him.
Okay, why don't you try just logging out, Larry?
Jacob, I actually just want to
ahead.
zoom out a little bit on Marion Hartill.
Okay. It takes a moment to,
Yeah, because there's a piece of land that we've not developed that I think belongs to the village. I think it was Audrey Edelman's gift to the village, and it's all just goldenrod right now.
Where's that?
On the other side of,
your village park, it's this green highlight.
it's this.
This L.
It's where the old swimming pool was.
Oh,
In there. I mean, you're near a lot of housing.
Oh,
That might be a problem.
yeah,
I mean, I wondered about that when I looked at it.
No.
But, you know, it's just an
I think
open
that's-
space right now.
that's cool.
It's
It's a
Nothing
great
in
idea.
it.
If noise is the concern, though, that's much closer to.
Yeah, for
noise.
me, I wouldn't want to make it, I mean, I love the idea, it's obviously, it's my idea, but like, I wouldn't want to put it near the housing like that.
Have to go to the mall to play.
So as we look at this, are we planning to have a drawing similar to what the consultants
I do,
prepared?
I do, I want drawings.
Planned in,
I want plans, like the
in
two goes here.
infrastructure.
So I do these drawings professionally, pay me to do them. Are you planning to hire someone to do drawings?
See, that's the thing, the village doesn't really do what the town does, like these professional plans. I mean, it's possible that we could
That
move in that direction in the future, but that's not currently what we're planning to do.
That could be an opportunity for Design Connect at a park scale of
Yeah.
just the park.
Yeah.
That's a little more in there, as opposed to this whole navigating a bunch of private property connections, long trails. Is a little much to ask students to
So
do.
that's not what I asked them to do. I asked, so we mentioned Design Connect because they helped,
Who is that?
they're Cornell students.
Oh,
They
okay.
helped develop this plan
So they're acting as
in
consultants.
town, but unrelated to everything we're talking about here, I reached out to them to help us do design guidelines for our high-traffic zoning, which currently does not have official guidelines.
Oh.
We had low-traffic design guidelines from like the 90s before we even had a high-traffic area. And then we had high-traffic design guidelines that were never adopted. That's also on my to-do list, is to have real design guidelines for the village. And so that's what I reached out to them, nothing to do with parks.
Okay.
And so that's what they're pending, determining whether they want to participate in.
My understanding of them is, and what you just described, is that would sort of be a bit of a reach for them to
Oh,
look
really? You
at.
didn't say that to me.
Well,
Okay, well, I can call back.
again, it's a student group. What they do is essentially volunteer level work. It's not professional work. You can't actually, if you were to actually construct something on your street based on their drawings, it would be a massive liability issue.
Well, not only that, they came and proposed something for the mall, but it's like, we don't own the mall and we can't turn it into a skating rink.
Right.
Right.
Like,
Right. You might ask them to do one thing and then they might get really excited about something
yeah, they were like,
completely different.
they just proposed this
It's-
amazing
it's-
project that is,
It's students,
Yeah.
and I've worked
but you
on,
think if this might be good for them.
as just a simple park plan for these, I think that,
These landscape architecture kids.
yes, I think they're primarily landscape architecture. There may be some planning department may be involved, but I believe it's landscape architecture.
City and regional.
Yeah. But
So let me call the guy and say, did you, because I just, someone had suggested to me that they would be helpful with the zoning guidelines. And so I just emailed him like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and he was like, perfect timing, we're pitching projects for the spring now. And so then he said,
who is it, by the way? I know some of the faculty.
see if I can figure it out, I just, again, design guidelines.
For what?
I
Michael,
don't know.
Matt Four, I don't remember what his full name is.
But I think looking for them to provide some drawing, graphic representation, which is something that I think the students are actually very, very good at. Some of the more critical design, practical thinking, they tend to try to they think outside the box a lot, which isn't necessarily what's appropriate for a small village park. But drawing, yes,
Okay.
they're very good at that.
So I'll reach out to them and see if they prefer to work on this project for us as opposed to that one.
And it may
maybe
even
they
be
don't-
something, if you wanted to reach out to the landscape architecture department, it might be the type of thing where a grad student might be interested in
Do you know
doing
if
it.
have a name?
Is Nina Bassick still there?
No, she's retired.
Retired, too bad.
if you reached out to her, she would give you the name of the right person
Somebody.
to talk to then.
Yeah. Is that somebody you want to reach out to and ask her?
No, I mean, she did our tree inventory on Black Chin Boulevard, and we discovered all the black walnuts in there.
Do you want to ask her if she,
I don't know
I
her.
could come up with a name
Yeah,
for you
okay.
guys. Yeah, I mean,
I think it'd be great to reach out.
Connection to her, but she had a student come out and they did GPS points on all the trees, so we know exactly where they are. So if anyone tries to take them out, we've got them.
Okay.
but anyway, just because I think us discussing all these ideas is a good first step, but the end result of what we're aiming for is a drawing,
Right,
and someone
it's a
has,
whole report,
someone actually has to
correct.
draw it, and I think,
There has to be a narrative for it so that it explains everything. We can get to that.
yeah, but I think a Cornell landscape architecture student would be the perfect candidate.
Could I add a couple more things to my?
Yes, are we on Marion's?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
We got the signage. There's a weird dirt pile covered with field plants, goldenrod, et cetera. It's right between the playing field and the playground. It's on this side, it's on the playground side of the berm. And it's just out there.
Excuse me, Lynn, there's a history to that, and it was part of the berm that leftover stuff from
I gather.
the building the park, and then they were going to move it all away, and so many kids were playing on the hill
Well,
that we'd like it. So
Yeah.
I saw that, and I took a picture of it. I have a picture of it if you want to see.
I'm not
It's
suggesting
covered with,
taking it
it's
out.
covered with thistles. That's the problem. Nobody's playing on it.
No, they're riding their bikes over it. They're riding bikes over it. There's a little trail that goes up and across the top and down the
Yeah.
other side, and it's
Completely
clearly,
covered with, it's completely covered with thistles. It looks
yeah,
like.
it's not a friendly,
So the suggestion is that we leave the hump, but we remove the thistles and
Yeah,
goldenrod?
They're gonna come back.
Is that, what's the suggestion?
well, I think that, I mean, they've discussed moving it, and then people in the park said the kids are playing on it, so please leave it. So I don't know how we'd maintain it, except
I
that
don't think they
to
can
get
play
rid
on
of
it.
the thistles.
Yeah, I don't see how they can play on it now.
Well, if
Well,
they're riding
I'm a
bikes
fan
on
of
it,
wild spaces and
Yeah,
letting
me
kids
too.
play in wild
It's cute.
spaces like the anarchy zone. I mean, should we lean into the anarchy of it?
We could just weed whack it periodically. It's kind of like at the children's garden, right? Isn't that the anarchy zone at the children's garden? Yeah. Which I think is a silly name. It ought to be free play or something.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, what
One
else?
more thing. The dirt pile, the signage. Oh, yeah, there is a bunch of poison ivy on all of the pine trees, right in the park. It's all turning beautiful red right now, and it's just looking glorious. I think that's a hazard.
So. we
It's
need
gonna have to be poisoned.
I was about to say,
You gotta
John
round up.
only does herbicides on poison ivy.
That's it. People are violently allergic to it, and
But do it carefully so it doesn't get on the tree.
yeah, you have to be really careful. It's growing right in the tree, so you have to cut the stem and then, or pull it out. Just, figure out how to pull it out.
I mean, I can put that on, I can ask at the next meeting for that to be
Yeah.
on John's
It's-
to-do list.
It's clear on the trees, and if kids go and just wrap around a tree, they're
I
gonna
think this
wrap
was a
around.
particularly bad year for poison ivy, it seems like.
It's getting worse. And that was one of the predictions for our higher CO2 levels, was that poison ivy is going to thrive, and it's thriving.
It is.
I have more of it on my place than I've ever had.
My husband has it right now on his hands.
Oh, God. Okay, that was just. I
my
had
eye is overcome with it also and the vines dig right into the bark of the trees. So you
Yeah.
do have to cut them off at the bottom, but you still, if you rub the tree, I think you'll still get it.
I will ask
have
at
to-
our next working meeting,
Yeah.
which is October 23rd.
have
if
to
John
remove
can-
the vines.
If John could put that on his,
Yeah.
like, this month's to-do list.
The thing is, once the leaves are down, it's really hard to tell what's what. It's hard even to see where the
So
vines are.
maybe I should ask him right now.
One of them is woodbine, and I would leave that one because it's so beautiful right now. It turns this glorious red. Virginia creeper.
Is that the same as Virginia creeper? The
Yeah,
five
yeah.
leaves, yeah.
Yep.
Beautiful
yep.
stuff.
Yeah, it's, oh, God, I forgot, Parthenocissus or something. Parthenocissus, yeah.
Quifolia.
Wincofolia, yeah.
Okay,
That's it. That's
So
all I
Marion
had for
Hartel.
Marion. Yep.
so. I am wondering if, when we come up with a long-term plan for the park, mean, how strongly do you feel about the parking needing to be,
Not very.
Organized.
If there is no plan to ever extend Northwoods Drive to connect
I
anywhere,
don't think it would ever,
if that is absolutely.
That's out of
the case,
there.
Then the parking's fine.
I don't think anybody wants through traffic.
It's not ideal that it's striped as a big thoroughfare, because it means people drive
It
faster.
has a stripe down the center.
yeah.
Has a stripe down the center, and, yeah, which just makes it feel like it's a big highway.
I mean, all that does is tell you it's a 2-lane road, but I mean, I
No, I know
don't
what
get
you
that.
mean, I think it looks very urban.
They've done some studies, and once you stripe a road.
That's interesting.
people
I hadn't
drive
even thought about it.
People drive on it faster. It's because they
They
feel safer.
they perceive it as a road.
Exactly. A
street.
Driveway, or, yeah.
You know, another future consideration that we could think about, I didn't even know the village owned the land on the other side of the road.
Yeah,
but what
now
we
that was
wanna do
part of
with
the,
that.
yeah, well, that thing that's in the middle of it, if you can move the drop down. Can you remove the drop down menu?
It's on,
Rid of the drop down because it's blocking our, there. That was Audrey Edelman's gift to the village. They decided not to develop it after all. They developed the townhouses on, what is it called? What are those two little cul-de-sacs?
Yeah.
Yardley Green and
Yardley Green and Coventry, yeah. So there, that square thing was an old swimming pool. And as an attractive nuisance, it got filled in. Right now, that's just wildland. There could be a trail through there. It looks like there already are some trails.
I have walked that trail several times, and we talked about it with John, to connect East Point's dog park through alongside of Northwoods, north-south. So
Yeah.
people in East Point can walk straight down from their path to Hart Hill Park, but
Absolutely,
pretty
Yeah.
wet back in there.
possible route. It doesn't exist yet.
okay, yeah, no,
Yeah, you
absolutely.
you
What
can
is the
walk through there.
orange? Is that a possible route?
That is the East Point Dog Park, and it looks like there is a pathway extension down to like a circle of some
Stops.
kind. a
Yeah,
clearing.
it goes out west to a turnaround with a bench. And from near the dog park, there are people cut through. There's two places where people have already cut through.
Okay,
So we should make that a trail.
Yes, that's
Absolutely.
on our map, our village map. That's one of the suggested trails on that layer, I think, goes north. south.
Yeah, that's what we're looking at, Larry.
I had a question about the dog park. Is that part of the 6% set aside? Is there any public park land area set aside, that was set aside for East Point? I mean, all developments have to have, especially a PDA, has to have a set aside.
Yeah,
And what is it for East Point?
Along the west edge, there's a stretch of trees. That might be what they consider their set aside.
It's not useful in any way to the public, other than just
It's
a
a
place to
vertical strip.
walk. It's just a huge retention swale along there, that's all that is. I just drove it today.
I can ask Mike that.
Yeah, I don't know, that's aside, but the dog park, I didn't know if that was part of the 6%. That land, the forested part of the land, that's all part of East Point's footprint?
Yes, it is, I'm pretty sure.
Okay,
The lot line is very close to the northernmost buildings in Northwoods.
okay.
Remember.
I don't know how much setback there is between the two.
So it's all part of their parcel.
Okay, yeah, well, that unused parcel, we've talked about it for years, and we've just, up to this point, just left it as wild land,
They should
undeveloped.
definitely, absolutely, minimum be a trail.
Yeah, I think trails would be the best use of it, and leave it as a green space and a place for pollinators, and not try to organize it in any way, other than put a trail through it.
So there's on the other side of Coventry Walk,
There's a big area.
big connected area that's village land, right? That's contiguous to the park. This sort of creates a circle around those houses. Is there a way to connect, to do a loop?
The last house, I think it's 96, their lot line has a point that goes right up to East Point. So our village land does not surround the Coventry and that other walk. Our land is broken by this one house, 96, I think it is.
Yeah. Could you get permission from them?
If you walk right along the edge, they actually have a bridge across their property, and it comes very close to them, one of the other houses, to leaving their land, but the point is way back, and I think pretty much undeveloped. I've walked all the way across there, and it's all brushy.
Whose land is it, Larry? That
Geez,
last house?
the last house in the deep one, yeah. Isn't
Okay.
that somebody we know? What's her name? Begins with a D?
Is it the Claypacks?
It could be.
Because the Claypacks are on that land.
Very deepest house, and unfortunately, it goes right up to East Point. It's just a point. You'd probably be on their land for 15 or 20 feet.
Their
I mean, that seems
property is
possible.
something like this.
Oh,
It seems possible that they would give that permission. It's certainly worth asking.
Because that would be fantastic if there was a loop,
Absolutely, that'd be
loop
great.
around
Everyone
that
loves a
whole,
loop.
yeah, that would really be
A loop would be a
trail.
great
a huge
idea.
amenity.
yep.
And
Okay,
there's the stream-like bed, a seasonal stream that goes east-west there and runs into the one that goes down by Churchill eventually. But there is a path. You can find high ground to walk through there. I've gone through a couple of times in both directions.
yeah, it's not flat.
No, it's just a lot of buckthorn back in there.
But in terms of a master plan for the park, I would almost treat these three sections as a whole,
As part of it,
because they're all,
whole neighborhood,
as a whole park neighborhood, exactly.
yeah.
Because I think any amenities that exist in Marion Hill, Hartel,
Yeah,
Marion and Don Park,
yeah,
sort of serve that space. If you were going to park there, you could walk.
and it's a big population there. If you count Northwoods plus Coventry and Yardley and East Point, because they don't have a park to go to. They don't have anything. So
Connecting through there, yeah.
connecting through there for walking would be great. I mean, otherwise they're gonna drive in if they have kids and want to use the playground.
Yep, I like that idea a lot.
Now,
Okay,
if it was developed, it would be a really short walk. It's not as far, you drive around and you think it's a long ways, but it's really pretty short.
Yeah, it's just around the corner, really.
Yeah.
There's just no way to drive through, which is probably a good thing.
how long would the loop be if we were able to do that loop?
Wow,
Question.
couple miles, mile and a half.
That's perfect.
That's a
perfect
good
length.
walk.
That's a perfect,
It's a great length,
perfect neighborhood trail,
Yeah.
a mile and a half loop.
with lots of breakups, lots of places where you can, entry points, so you
That's
don't have.
that would be a
yeah.
fabulous addition to the village, for sure. Better than
Just
the
about a
loop.
mile if you included a loop around the perimeter of the park.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
So you come off the trail, go down to the south end of the park and then back up again.
It would almost be exactly a mile. Yeah.
I'd rather it be a mile than shorter than a mile.
Mile is good.
Yeah.
Mile and a half is good, mile is good. Shorter than that is too short.
So
I mean,
if,
it's whatever, it is what it is. Okay,
so that would be sort of a major improvement, a major objective, and it would be very dependent on that one permission.
easement, yep,
Something to shoot for.
absolutely.
That's future planning.
Yeah, okay, good. Do you want to talk about the next part?
There's Ned Hickey?
Should we go to Ned Hickey?
I did. It's a nice little park that could use more trees. Again, I suggest tulip poplars or oaks for shade.
Where specifically?
It's on Leaf's Way.
Where do you think it needs?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I didn't go to the back end of the park because that faces into a field.
Yeah, it's kind of a funny park. I mean, it has the basketball court, it has the pavilion, it doesn't have,
I would say on either side of the pavilion, maybe to plant a shade tree. It's always nice to have shade. The little trees that are there, one looks like a sycamore and one looked like a maple. I couldn't tell for sure.
okay?
There'll be nice shade trees eventually. They're kind of small.
There were 3 new trees planted there, the pines, and they're showing deer damage already. They're
Yeah.
shredded at the waist.
You can't plant
have a
anything in the village right now without protecting it. That's just all there is to it. They're eating stuff at my place that they haven't touched. They came up to my house and ate my ivy. I've never had them eat ivy. In the 40 years I've lived there, they ate the ivy. It's just-
Okay, so
they're just-
every time, that'll be like a policy. Every
Yeah,
time we plant,
protect
we're
the trees.
protecting it.
And you might have to, I mean, like that one was fenced for a long time as an oak, because that's prime deer chew. They love oaks,
Okay,
little ones. Yeah, I don't know where to put them exactly, but, the field, the area is just an area to be mowed. And again, if you can provide more shade and reduce the amount of grass space that we spend a lot of gasoline mowing, would be great.
do you have ideas for that in this park in particular, to reduce grass space?
Yeah, the aerials don't show it, so I think everything past the basketball court area
That's free, that we could just,
really doesn't need to be, I mean, I don't, it doesn't seem quite large enough for it to be field sport type of area. So, yeah, I think,
I don't think we have to provide that in every park.
No.
That's really a pocket park. It's like Shannon Park, it's a pocket park, it's not a full-on park. We can't really put a playground there, and
it's much smaller, and yeah, I think figuring out what the right program for that.
more shade. Summers are getting hotter.
Any
And,
idea?
when I visited, I was surprised that they had mowed that last part out all the way back to the corner.
Okay, I'll make an immediate recommendation that,
They not mow all the way back.
that would change the mowing plan.
We,
I'll write up an immediate sort of like DPW policy park, like changes that we can enact.
Was there a drawing for this park or for any of the parks when they were built?
I don't think so.
No one
Maybe
like
Marion Hartel.
drew, here's where you should put the pavilion, here's where you should put the walkway, there was no, who did the work?
The DPW.
The
just put it
DPW
down.
just went out and
they did it,
kind of eyeballed it?
yep, and we ordered the playground equipment. I think that
Yes.
Monica was still with us when we ordered the playground stuff. She might have still been.
It's,
Yeah, I think she was very active in locating them at
Playground.
Hardtail Park.
Yeah,
okay. Well, what would be helpful in determining, particularly for this small park, where you wouldn't need to mow would be some type of,
just
it doesn't even, I don't even have an aerial image of it, so
stakes in.
the only way to do it would be to go out and sort of point.
Stake it.
Yeah.
Leave it, let it go to goldenrod, because that's what it'll end up doing, just like the field behind it.
Yep.
With a pathway through it or no?
I don't think you need a pathway. It doesn't connect to anything unless it goes over to Millcroft, right? Does it go in?
Not yet, not yet, not yet. So,
Once upon a time, there was a plan to have park land set aside for the Millcroft development, which was right on Leaf's Way, and then you had Ned Hickey or some other piece of land, and that eventually they would suture together, and you
Yeah.
would have one larger park.
Yeah.
Well, that never happened, and
Yeah.
I think things got broken up differently. So Ned Hickey Park now kind of is a standalone, I think, unless there's something planned for the Millcroft. Who owns that now, the
you mean the
Beers?
beers? I think that's on pause. It's,
Which is at this,
To the north.
Yeah.
the north.
Yeah.
But anything that would happen would be park and trail connected, for sure.
Well, and then I think we need to think about it that way then comprehensively. I don't know what's being planned there. I haven't paid attention. I'm not going to
I,
planning board
as far as I
meetings
know,
anymore.
they haven't been back in at least
Yeah, a
12
long
months,
time.
if not 18 months,
To develop the rest of it.
because of the problems with the planning board.
Yeah.
So the biggest comment I had for Ned Hickey is that it's not well-connected
To anything.
trails.
Yeah.
I think we're talking about this connection, right?
So where is Ned Hickey on that map?
Right here.
Oh, it's that. Boy, is that tiny.
I know, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be easy to connect.
So this is Leaf's Way, Ned Hickey is here, so, right, so if there's a way to,
I believe it will be connected once Janivar Drive continues, because they have a road already, a plat, and it goes right to there.
Oh,
I think it comes like through here or something.
So
Does
we're,
that connect with Norway, or?
where are we?
No,
So this is Hickey Park?
Yeah,
no, it doesn't go that far.
It
Ned
goes
Hickey
with
Park,
this round here,
the lot, if you're looking at the
I
village,
believe.
Ned Hickey Park is about twice as big as the mode part on the village map. It goes out to the east about twice, but it doesn't go all the way.
So we're talking about, if you look at the top where you see the orange.
You can't see.
Oh, you can't see it? Okay.
I
They
can- I'm
still
looking at
have,
the
they
village
still
line.
could go further.
that's Ivar's Way, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, right now it's dead ending, but
Right.
it's supposed to go on around.
Is that actually happening right now, Jody?
No. They haven't started yet. It's already, I think it's, because you can look at that plot.
Yeah,
Mike has a map where you could see
So
exactly.
this sort
what you
of
think.
fragment road connector.
This
will
we also is a
eventually-
trail. Uh-huh.
Will that actually be a loop? Will Ivar Way?
I
Loop all the
don't
way
know that.
around?
You'd have to look at the plans.
Okay. Well, anyway,
But I think there is planned connectivity.
oh, okay,
so a planned priority though would be a pedestrian route that isn't just on-street walking.
right,
From Ned Hickey over to the connector here in the
the Northwoods,
Northwoods.
yep,
Likewise, you have the Lansing Trails,
I love those trails.
and they just sort of dead end onto the street.
Yeah.
what are the blue
It's
lines?
not a super busy street, but it
Yeah,
would be
but-
really great if there was an actual pedestrian route.
Here it is.
Oh, okay.
That's the final, so yes, the road, it's a final build out there.
Okay,
Okay?
yeah, thank you. So open space, so this would be open space along the creek.
What is the blue line?
That's the creek.
Oh, okay,
And the trail down here in Lansing Trails follows the creek up to this point. They've got open.
it just
space-
hits the road,
Just hits the road, but they've got open space on this plan all the way up to this point.
could it continue to follow the creek where you just were?
Right, could that trail come all the way?
Between all those, I don't know,
And Ned Hickey attaches across here and down here. Anyway,
What is this? You're using Google Earth Pro? Is that different than Google Earth? And did you draw those lines or they're just
This-
there?
I drew those lines.
it's the KMZ file, which is the Google Earth data file, is available to download from the village website. And so that's what I did, and I just opened it in Google Earth Pro, which is different than regular Google
It
Earth.
looks much nicer than what I see.
Perks of the profession, I guess. I think you can get Google Earth Pro for free, though. I don't think it's a paid version.
Okay. Okay.
Anyway, that's my main comment for Ned Hickey is
We need
better connectivity
connectivity.
for the trail network. And it's all close.
I think-
It hasn't made,
I think the infrastructure is fine, just as a small pavilion, it didn't have anything for a while, and a little basketball court. What is that, a half court?
half court, yeah.
Half court, but I do think it needs trees
Better connectivity to the trail system.
and a trail system, so.
Okay?
When we talked about, and when we talked about the connectivity of Ned Hickey Park, the half of it that is not developed and the map that you're looking at, that there's apparently, I don't think there's any plan for the Ivar people to build that loop. That's a walking path, private walking path that you see on the green arc. But do we know if there's any plan to build townhouses that far up there?
It's part of it, that's what Jody just showed
Jody
us,
was
the map
proposing it.
of a final build-out, and it's taken them 40 years.
But it's
Yeah.
just proposed, there's nothing before the
Yeah.
planning board or anything
No.
like
Yeah,
that.
nothing,
It's just out there.
It's
Yeah.
just in the future.
Yeah, it looks like they are proposing 3 single-family homes south of what is called Village Park Way, which is not
I don't know what that is.
Norway, but anyway.
Is that right now? Is that a current?
This is what she handed me, I don't know.
There are, yeah, south of Norway, there are already buildings there, they're already completed. They're not on this map.
But there's
I
nothing
looked
going
at
in on
pond.
Ivar's Way.
Okay.
All right,
Anyway,
Moving on to Global Village?
yeah.
slash, what's Phil Dankert.
Yeah, local village.
So I was also thinking of, should we put pickleball in here, or should we just do it, I mean, one or the other, but would this be a better place for it?
Well, noise is
The noise is
concern.
right behind those apartment buildings.
No, well, for Global Village, but Dankert,
No, no.
Anchor's across the road.
it's
Yeah.
across the street, it's right next to Route 13.
Yeah,
Any noise is gonna be drowned out by
There's a
the,
lot of lawn there.
yeah.
There's a lot of space.
Well,
with
I
that
mean,
one.
so there are soccer fields, but I think that pickleball courts would be more used. And I wonder if we put the pickleball courts in where the pavilion is.
so there's also if we're just talking about Dankert and Global Village at the same time, since they're adjacent to each other, they have the exact same amenities.
I know.
It's an identical
I
playground.
know. that
I
should be
know,
nice. There
and
used to
I
be such a
think
cuter one at Global
Both,
Village.
I think both
for
those
different age
playgrounds, both those playgrounds need stuff added to them. They're really kind of boring.
Why not consolidate the playground in Global Village side as sort of, it already has a fence enclosing it, that becomes the kid playground, young kid area.
And the older playground
And
is
the
across
older,
the
more
street.
athletic side is across the street,
Makes good sense.
and then you don't have this duplication of amenities. That was my initial take on it.
Totally agree.
Excuse me again, that was the plan when it was developed, when the Global Village Park was put in, was that there's daycare places from all the apartments, and they take their kids to the Global Village Park. And the other one was expected to be intended at the time, I mentioned it, for a little bit older kids with the basketball court and.
But I don't think you need a playground there, you know, and if
Especially
that
the
was,
exact
if
same
Possible to put a
plastic.
you
pickleball
could take
court.
it out and put a
Unexciting.
pickleball court there
Yeah.
instead.
Yeah.
Keep the pavilion, because the pavilion is way up at the north end.
And
of
honestly, if they're
of the
pickleball
lot.
here, it's so accessible from the road, so
Yeah.
many people would see it, it would get so much play.
Yeah.
I actually might think this is a better place for it.
Yeah. So you've got the same swings, same playground.
Yeah, it's identical. We could really upgrade the playground in Global Village.
Yeah, so I would say Global Village should be a multi-age playground. And then once you get to athletic age,
Put them across the street.
across the street. My other comments for Dankert were, it seems like it has enough room, especially if the playground went away, for that to be a full basketball court. You've got 3 half courts in the village and not a single full court.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You could have a real game.
Yeah,
You wouldn't be able to put a full court and a pickleball court there unless you moved the pavilion, probably. I don't know how big.
Or take out the trees.
yeah, we would need to measure and lay it out and see what actually fits there.
It's not as big as a tennis
I
court.
would think that we should do
half a
two
tennis
two
court.
pickleball courts and make it like a thing that people go and play, or 3, and like, there's no place in town that is pickleball central. If we could bring
Not Stewart
pickleball
Park,
central to the
people play in
village.
Stewart Park.
People play here and there, but there's not like a place, like you go to some towns and they've got the pickleball courts and everyone goes to the pickleball courts and it's a big deal. And Ithaca area doesn't have that right now, they have the indoor, and then you have a couple places outdoor with converted tennis courts, but if we were to take and claim that identity as the village is the place where you go and play, I would bring a lot of people here. It would really help Trip Mall.
So some of the considerations, I think pickleball court makes enough sense where it would be worth relocating the pavilion to make more room. I don't think you want to lose those trees because they're the only real shade in that park.
So you think the pickleball could be up at the north end, where the pavilion is?
Pavilion is, I would get rid of the
And then bump out the basketball court to a full court?
court, and then
Good idea.
pickleball up at where the pavilion
Yeah.
is. And the pavilion, I think you could find a room for it, maybe closer to the parking lot.
Or maybe,
The basketball.
maybe up behind the south end net,
Yeah,
up on the playing field.
I mean, well, that's the baseball
Baseball, soccer up there.
stop.
Yeah.
You'd have people having to lug all their stuff from their parking lot up the hill.
Yeah, that's,
And maybe the pavilion goes over in the Global Village side or something like that. I mean, it's not a substantial enough structure where you couldn't kind of pick it up and move it, though.
it'd be nicer there because it's not as close to Route 13, so not so noisy.
If this northern yeah, northern half or northern 2/3 of Global Village was all playground. And then right near the entrance in the southern
You have a
third,
pavilion.
you have the pavilion. That would feel really good.
That's probably going to be the biggest redesign, is moving those things.
Yeah.
But I agree with you, having the same equipment on either side of the street, when I saw that.
Just
I was
kind of
like,
silly.
That was silly, that was a
Yeah.
mistake.
Yeah. Even if you didn't go to a full basketball court and you just put the pickleball where the playground is, even that would be an improvement.
But why
What
not,
side, so northern half would be playground, and then the pavilion on, is it southern? Where
in
is it?
Glover, yeah, it's southern end.
Yeah.
Yep. That part of Uptown is north-south.
Okay, all right, I like that, actually. You know why I like that for the pickleball better? Because it's so much visibility. So many people driving by will be like, ooh, pickleball courts. Whereas if it's at Marion Hartel, it's like secret pickleball.
Yeah, it is secret, because it's a dead end
It's a
in there.
dead- I think actually this would be great, and then if the basketball's there and that, we could become like an athletic hub.
Yep.
I love for the
Well,
village.
it would be the village's Cass Park,
I would love
in a
it.
way. Yeah,
I would love it.
that'd be cool.
Dense.
Very constricted, just the same, you know.
Yeah, any other thoughts about the field?
Well, I also have concerns about the connectivity to this from, I know the yellow line on Uptown Road is a priority new sidewalk.
Yeah, we were about to build it, but then I applied for a grant,
Okay.
and we find out in January if we get it, so we put off building it.
So I would just
We're
wanna-
gonna build it next year regardless of whether or not we get the grant.
I would just want to make sure that that extends all the way to
See
the,
the map,
Yeah,
because
map
the
view?
yellow line only comes to like
yeah,
this point, which isn't,
yeah.
it needs to wrap all the way around
Yeah.
and come to the entrance.
Yep, we just, we'll
Because
find out.
otherwise it's the sidewalk
Okay.
to nowhere.
We will find out.
The crosswalk also could be neatened up, the parking lot entrance.
People go in through the apartment houses and end up at Trip Hammer Mall.
Right
there's-
now, they kind of would walk.
Underneath the power lines, there's sort of a trail
I
behind.
I downplayed.
There are actual trails, yeah.
Right, and they saw it. I was like, there's no way to get there from all
Yeah.
these places, but there is, you just.
Yeah.
go
What is
back.
that,
Gaslight Village.
you say, Larry?
There are walkways, paved walkways, goes right past where the church used to be, Bishops, the old Bishops.
Oh,
People
yeah.
Directly all the time. There are about 3 paths that people use. If you look at, I don't know if you noticed it, but the new bus pavilion at the Dankert Park covers a sign up. When you're coming down the road, I can,
Oh,
if
no.
I screen share, you might be able to see it. If I can do this.
You had a picture there a minute ago of the pavilion, at the bus stop.
Can you see it?
There.
Yep.
There's what the sign looks like.
Oh. We need to relocate the sign.
Sign should go on the other side of the road.
Yeah, I agree.
So we need to relocate the yellow walking man sign?
No, the
So we
sign
need
for
to
the
walk
park.
the park sign.
Park sign is completely
sign.
hidden by that blue,
Cross,
by the
Blue
blue
bus
pavilion.
pavilion.
hidden.
Now, the bus pavilion could have been set a little further to the
That's another
south.
thing, like, the signs were just put with, like, I hate where the
So-
sign was put in Shannon Park. I'm
Yeah.
like, just put it there. There was no one driving the bus.
Well, before the bus pavilion, it was completely visible, but looks
So
like
look-
it needs to be moved now.
Looking at that entrance, and this is more of a hard concrete and asphalt work job, but the entrance to the driveway is super wide. And the crosswalk just sort of ends in this
No man's land.
no man's land of asphalt, and then it becomes parking lot. So I would advocate for putting a curb there with curb ramps to separate the parking lot from the road.
Isn't that where the bus pulls in, though? No, it doesn't, it's not a bus pull.
No, that's just taking up space. You
Okay,
don't have to mow it probably.
That's you'd need a crew out there to really pour some concrete and do some work for that. But that could be
Okay.
incorporated with the new
I was gonna
sign
say,
being located there. It could be a one project.
okay. Okay. Anything else for Global Village, Phil Dankert?
Go ahead.
The village takes a village park the children's park, the sidewalk that's going to come down Uptown Road needs to take in consideration, maybe enter the park instead of run along the road, because the people end up walking right in the traffic.
It has to cross the road somewhere, the sidewalk, I mean,
Well, the corner, you mean.
corner.
Yeah, at the
People
corner.
stand almost in the ditch to wait for the bus
I know, that's,
across
Yeah.
from Uptown.
I wrote about that in my grant application.
Yeah,
Here-
it's a bad situation.
And here's the picture. You can see the pavilion. Can you see this on screen?
Yep,
Yeah.
yep,
There's your pavilion across the road.
Yeah,
And here's how the walkway comes around and goes right out into the street.
yeah, that's nuts.
If you look the other direction, there's a gap in the fence. If the sidewalk is coming down the street, it feels like the sidewalk should enter the park.
So that
Which would
park
be on
is,
this side of the fence.
so that park actually isn't fully enclosed with a fence. It's just on the,
No, it is enclosed. Yeah, it
It's
goes all
not
the way
enclosed.
around.
This end is open.
But it's enclosed next to the apartment buildings, isn't it?
Yeah, it goes all.
There's fence there.
I don't have a view of that scene.
but you're saying there's a whole, it's 90% enclosed.
It's mostly
Yeah,
wrapped all the way
mostly,
around.
Is there?
Yeah, it certainly is at the south end.
Enclosed?
well, if that's going to be the playground area,
Need more access.
I would, well, a gate maybe, but ideally, if you have a playground and it has a fence around it because you've got young kids who are sort of running wild,
Kind of stop looking.
you don't want a bunch of gates
Yeah.
because you don't have eyes on all those gates.
Yeah,
And it's a busy road.
You really only want one entrance
Yeah.
point, so you can sort of post up as sentry there and make sure
we used to
nobody's
take
leaving
kids
the
to
perimeter.
community nursery school because it's fully enclosed, it's a certain size, and we were like, good, we're done.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can just have a seat near the
Yeah,
gate
and it was
or
so much easier for us.
somewhere where you have a good view. So I would recommend fully enclosure of
Yeah.
that side. I think it's less important on the other side if that's athletics.
Yeah,
You know, on the roadside, the existing chain link fence is probably enough.
yeah.
But in this section right at the end, where
Yeah.
you can see the vehicle, this is open, so that would have
Yeah.
to
We'll
be.
figure out what happens with the sidewalk first, and then after that,
Figure out where the fence goes.
figure out where the fence goes.
Yeah, but I would pick one entrance to that, the Global Village Park, and decide whether it's a park closes at dusk situation where you have a gate that you close. There is a gate currently at the main entrance.
That's the only gated park, really.
It could be closed, but I don't know if they ever actually close it.
Probably not. I mean,
I love that
it's the
idea.
only park that has a fence around it.
I hate the playground equipment. I think it's so unfun looking. I don't know how to
Yeah.
even describe it, but I was upset about those choices.
But that replaced a bunch of wooden
I loved
structures
that
that were
thing.
crap.
Oh my
You know,
God,
They
that
were
was so
falling
much
apart.
cooler.
I know they were, but they were splintering
It
and
was
they were.
fun.
And who knew what
It
kind of
was like-
pressure-treated lumber they were made
It was like
of?
a pirate air type
Oh, they were
vibe.
community built, right? They were one of the community.
I don't even think it was a Leathers build. I think it was something kind of like it.
Okay.
Not sure it was a community.
I much preferred that.
I know. I mean, it was much more free range.
Yeah,
But
I tend towards, I
if
hate the
you look
plastic.
at, like, if you look at
Boring.
Stewart Park, it's a beautiful playground, but it's all plastic.
Out
Is
is
more
pretty
interesting.
cool. The rope climbing mesh
like
stuff,
ropes.
there's some really,
You know what, in Stewart Park, have you gone through it? It's pretty
Yes.
amazing.
Yes.
We got a tour with the Water Resources Council, and yeah, you may not like the plastic, but it is very, very thoughtfully done. It's handicap accessible on many levels, so people
My
can
kids
go up.
loved the fake rocks. that you
Yeah,
could
the
put
fake
up.
rocks are
My kids
wonderful.
loved fake rocks.
Yeah.
I'm very big on that.
A lot more interesting.
Maybe we can pick up the playground equipment that we don't need here and put it in Shannon Park, which I don't know if it'll look good there, but.
I
or
wondered if
or
you
Ned
want-
Hickey Park.
If you wanted playground equipment in Shannon Park.
Well, Ronnie asked me a couple of years ago, like, hey, we have $5,000 budgeted for a piece of playground equipment for Shannon Park. Do you want like a swing? He-
Are there small
He
kids?
sent me a picture of like like this dragonfly thing that was pretty cool looking. And then we just kind of hemmed and hawed because the neighborhood people didn't know exactly what they want. The answer to your question is, there's so many young kids right now, and they've actually all asked me.
Well, then, maybe this is
playground
the time to do it, you know?
Yeah, anyway, okay, wait, hold on. So Global Village, Phil Dankert.
last thing, if you're enclosing it fully, maybe just a better looking fence.
I think that
Long-term thing, but
there are some invasive buckthorns and stuff coming up around the base of the trees that need to be cut out. It's a maintenance thing. Not in Dankert, but in the Global Village. I went
That's
in
sort of a
there.
global, all parks, check for invasive species.
Yeah,
everywhere.
and I helped identify the trees to leave and identified the trees to take out of that park, because we took a lot of stuff out of that park back in the, when I was still on the board.
Okay,
So what's left, there are some multiple stems in there, and there's just a lot of weedy stuff coming up through them, and I think that just needs to be neatened up.
okay, maybe in the spring you can
Yeah.
go out again and help
Yeah.
identify for John, and tell him what to pull.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Shannon Park?
Okay.
So what I wanted for Shannon Park is more use, which I think would
Excuse
be.
me, hello? Got a minute? Just one more comment about Dankert Park, please.
Sure, go ahead.
On the east side, I think that at the end, if you go across the soccer field, the border is somewhat into the trees a little bit. But there's a line of beautiful maples there that are just fabulous in the fall. And when the apartments go in there, they're going to start cutting all those trees, and we should make a point to have the planning board attempt to save those maples.
Yeah.
along the
Wait, are
border.
they in the park itself? Are they-
I think they're just on the border or just out.
It might be Cornell land, right?
Yeah, on the Cornell land, yeah.
We should.
And there's
It's
quite
fabulous
a
in the fall.
thicket of big old mature white pines in that thicket on the north side of that
Planning
parcel.
board,
But right along the border, there's beautiful maples. They
There's
just,
also some homeless encampments in
that
there.
we,
yeah, there's a couple of fireplace sites back in there.
That's pretty crappy.
okay. Okay,
It's quite thick.
so when we have like a policy in place for this park, it'll say, to the extent that building goes around the park, along the border,
Save the trees.
Yeah.
yeah,
Try
be
and
alert to
save
the maples. All right, thank you. So saying for Shannon Park was, I don't care for the lack of entry. There's just kind of like a.
There's no place to
berm.
park. Where do you park? Just on the
Park on the
road?
road.
Yeah.
There's not gonna be a place to park,
No,
right?
I just parked there and I went to look at the little pond, which is just about down to nothing right
So
now.
what happened with the pond, and I
It's
really
been
feel
really-
really bad, because my neighbor next to the pond, her name is Ivy, she had her house for sale, we dredged the pond, it looked awful.
Awful.
The road was a mess, and she
Goop
didn't sell,
everywhere.
yes, she didn't sell her house, which is nice, I get Ivy for another year, because she's staying till next year now. But I felt bad, because I felt like we kind of destroyed her house right when it was gonna be for sale. But anyway, the dredging had to happen because of, we had to
There's a
do
ton of weed in there and
some
it's,
DOT, we had to find we had to find the inflow and the outflow, we had to
Right.
like identify it.
that's a stormwater.
It's a stormwater retention pond.
Pond,
But one of the things John asked me last year was, where do you want a trail? He was gonna blacktop a trail. I'm like, this thing is so tiny, I don't really want a blacktop
I
trail.
like it grass.
But what I want like is steps, I think. What will bring you up into the park? Because there's this berm, I think it's a visual
Oh,
impediment.
that's hard
towards
for some
park
people to
use.
walk up,
Where do people approach from currently?
just either street.
From here.
or-
Where it's ground level here, and it's high here.
Okay,
So people come in from here, and there's a trail here.
so there is a trail.
There's a
Yep.
trail back here.
It's very short.
And so, yeah, when I walk around the neighborhood with my husband, I always say, do you want to go through the trail or not? And we usually go through the trail just because maybe with a dog will like it, I don't know, but this way is,
Well, there's a strip in there of a lot of nice native trees and
This,
shrubbery.
so it's this little grass cut
Yep,
trail. I see.
yes.
Okay.
So, but if you were going to go to the park itself, you would come in from there because it's the low point. Whereas the corner of the park is about this high,
yeah, and you can't get up
and
it.
it's down and up. So I thought that there should be stairs there.
That's a great idea. Just wooden steps and some crushed rock, maybe. But then, would you put a playground in up there? Because there's just a bench on a
I
pad,
hate
you
the
know?
bench. I hate, they just plop the bench there, it just
Yeah,
drives me
plop.
nuts. I don't like the place.
There's nothing to look at except the road.
I was very unhappy about that. We talked about a pavilion, like a gazebo.
That'd be.
We talked
fine
about
for
whether kids
picnic.
would wait and, for the bus there, but it's too far, they wouldn't.
Uh-huh.
the bus stop is across the street. I mean, they could move the bus stop to this side of the street just to make a difference, but we talked about playground equipment, and then we just kind of always stymie with nothing. So we just haven't, I think stairs into the park would be the thing.
So a formalized entrance.
Yeah.
And that's really, I mean, it doesn't have enough room. There's a lot of topography. You've got the existing pond, you can't change.
Yeah, there's not a lot of room for a lot of infrastructure, but, maybe a small playground.
Should
Just
we
a
put
swing?
one of the, should we put swings there?
I don't
The
know.
problem is, once you put in swings, you do need like the 16 feet around of mulch,
Yeah.
state requirements, and is it
Right.
worth it? I don't know the answer. We do occasionally get people using it as a field.
It struck me that it's a little on the sterile side, so if you sat on that bench, there's absolutely
No, there's
nothing
no
to
reason to
look
sit on
at.
that
There are no
bench.
plantings, I thought maybe some plantings there, but then that's a maintenance issue.
Would there be any interest from like a garden club or neighbors to have a friend?
Establish a
friends
neighbor?
of the park to like some garden plantings?
What would you suggest as far as plantings? Like, where would they be? Would we move the bench?
Well, I think,
No, but maybe a mix of annuals and perennials, it might be just a wild pollinator garden or something in the middle, like just a rectangle of
yeah, I think
flowering plants
That's-
throughout the season.
less lawn is just sort of the,
Your theme?
Mine too,
Mine too. I left my lawn this year for the first time.
yeah.
We left about half of our lawn on.
It's interesting what you get, because you just get,
I was sad. I sprinkled packages of wildflowers.
they're not gonna just take.
No, I got nothing. I just
You
got
have
that
to,
lawn.
if you want to establish a prairie, you have to do it the way you plant a prairie, and that is you have to disc it up. You pretty much have to kill everything that's there, and you start over.
No, all I did was sprinkle, and it
Yeah.
did nothing.
They aren't gonna,
I hate the entrance. There's no
Yeah.
entrance. I want an entrance, and then you think some plantings.
maybe just a pollinator garden up there, then there'd be something to look at when you sit on that bench. Otherwise, what is there to look at?
it would also be a really lovely spot for memorial tree plantings, things like that, sort of treat it a little bit like a garden park, as opposed to a recreational park,
Yeah.
which the other parks are very
Right,
recreational.
right.
Really a rec park. I mean, it
Yeah.
was, informally, it was hockey pond, right? Kids played
Yeah, in
hockey.
the old days,
There was
the
a hockey
Brennans
net.
used to use it as for hockey, but it's not that anymore.
Yeah,
Wouldn't work for that either. Now, Jacob, we did do a bunch of bulbs in all the parks, and we did do that strip of bulbs along the front, so.
oh,
there's a
you've got
tiny bit.
bulbs there, great,
Yeah, so it does have a little bit, all the parks have bulbs now.
but they're gone in the spring, by June, they're gone.
Yeah, 100%, they're gone.
I like the idea of plantings, but then again, it's a big job to maintain a garden of flowering plants. Like a demo garden,
If there's someone who wanted to adopt it, but if not, then, yeah.
it's hard.
Okay. All right, so just an entrance, formalized entrance, and plantings.
Maybe just something to make it more interesting to look at,
So you could,
either nice trees or shrubs or
Visual interest.
an open
yeah, I mean.
pollinator garden.
It is a very picturesque spot already, but as you said, the only thing you have to look at is sort of the
If
road.
you planted a pollinator garden, then you could get one of those Earthy Society signs that says, this is, we're protecting pollinators, and you get butterflies and stuff like that. I just got 2 of them for the Green Spring Cemetery.
I wonder if I can do that next year. The bulbs came from a grant from Tompkins County.
Right.
What if I proposed a grant for a pollinator garden here?
I think that would be great,
The only other
great.
infrastructure pieces that I might suggest here would really be dependent on buy-in from the neighbors, because this is a very quiet neighborhood.
They're the ones who are going to use it. I don't know about Shannon Park, I'm not going to drive there to use it.
You could put swings, a playground, whatever there. It just, you're inviting activity, which if this is the place where the village wants activity, some things I might suggest, you mentioned a pavilion, maybe something more like a bandstand. You could have little concerts in the park, or,
I think it's too small for that, but I do like that. I do like the idea of the village having a bandstand, and
but not,
But then you'd have to have parking
I have,
Yeah.
you guys know, this is my big dream. This is my big dream. Where is it? It's in this one. Greenway design. Look, this is from 2001. This is the entrance to the village, right here across the street, with a bandstand right here,
Oh, on that land.
right over there.
Where in the world would people park?
Okay, yeah.
On Oak Crest. I don't know, I want to buy this land and make that's where our bandstand will be.
Are you talking Horowitz land?
Uh-huh.
Oh, good luck with that.
I haven't asked yet, see, look, here it is, gazebo, Greenway Trail. This is the corner. Anyway, that's what I want.
Yeah, me too. I mean,
No one's ever asked.
I want the village
I don't
to
think
have.
anyone's ever asked him for a couple acres right there in that corner.
No, all we've ever asked him is if he would consider putting an easement.
I wanted to sell that land to us.
I do too, but can we come up with 12 or 15 million? Because that's
I
probably,
think he
what-
wants 12 million, couple acres?
oh, no, for the whole thing.
Oh,
I want us to
the whole
buy the whole thing.
Oh.
I want the village to own Sundown's
No, we don't
Farm.
have, that's what's called Sundown's Farm, that's what I was trying to think of before, I remember when I was like, what's the name of that place? Well, I just want the corner. I want the corner.
When we were planning, or when the
Okay.
idea of the Harthill Park came up, that's when we were talking about, wouldn't we rather have that big park right across from the town hall on Horowitz's corner that I think you were just talking about, right?
Uh-huh.
And, but I don't think, did anybody at that time approach him about it? I don't
As far as
know.
I know, no one's asked him. I've asked Ronnie to ask him. I don't know if Don ever asked him. I doubt it. I'll call him tomorrow and ask him. I don't know where he lives.
Is that all wetland back there?
Yes.
But not right.
There's a lot of
where-
wetland.
But yeah, just on the other
Yeah,
side of the
right.
hill, it turns
No,
into,
no. There is now a 100-foot buffer
Yeah.
for development around all wetlands in New York State, which might mean that you can't actually do anything else with
Well,
that
there's a
corner.
piece of land that Crystal's been trying to sell.
Oh,
It's all cattails back in there. Right past the green that you can see up there, everything to the southwest of that is all cattail. And I don't see how she's going to be able to develop that.
how much is that?
Well, there's no parking there. I mean, there's no place, you couldn't put a bandstand there because you can't park, you couldn't park people off Trip Hammer. But I'm just saying, there's enough wetland back in there that it's going to prevent development in that corner.
So, just,
Okay.
yeah.
Do you guys have any thoughts on Black Chin, or should we call it a day?
Oh,
I don't have any, yes, I do, actually.
Okay, Black Chin.
You can't see the lake anymore.
Black Chin needs to be trimmed.
The trees have to come down, and that's going to be hard to do because they're downslope of the parking area. It used to be that you could pull in there and see the lake, and now you can't. The trees have grown up all on that slope along the road.
You suggest taking out the trees?
I think you have to cut them down. Yeah, some of them, or you're not going to see the lake.
I'd call it selective tree.
Collective forestry, there's just, everything's grown up now, and in the winter you can see it, but in the summer you can't really
Okay.
see the lake anymore.
Okay,
So the sight line from those parking spaces goes directly downhill and,
we own that land?
yeah, that's all village land,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. How much did it cost to cut down a tree? $2,000 a tree?
No, it depends, they're not that big a tree, and they're not great species, as I remember, they're either ash or they're locust or something, I can't remember.
Black locust, I think.
And they might be black locust, but I'm
What
not
do you think it
sure.
would cost?
it's really steep though, it's very steep.
It's quite steep. Yeah, it's not going to be easy taking them out. And they could just be left on the ground. You just cut them down, buck them up a little bit and leave them there.
Should we get estimates?
We could, but I think you have to go now while the leaves are still on the trees and cite which trees are the offenders. I mean, I could try to do that, but I kind of think it takes two people.
Well, I'd want to go with a tree removal.
And then
company to
go with
get an estimate.
yeah, then you would go with a tree removal and say, I want you to take this one, and this one. Or maybe you could just do it all then.
Does the village have a preferred tree removal company?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I just used Thompson Tree and Crane, and they were great. They use a crane to remove stuff.
Okay.
They brought a crane into my house and took out a mature oak next to my kitchen that's got a diameter
Do you
like
want to give
that.
them a call and say, and then we'd have to put it in the budget for the spring, for next year.
But we'd have to go down and look at the
We have to
site.
go meet them there. But I'd be willing to do that if you.
Okay, yeah, he's a good guy.
Because if we don't have a number, it doesn't make sense to talk about it.
Right.
We need to know, are you talking about $10,000? Is that where we want to spend $10,000? How many people will look at this view? So,
So I was curious how much use the park
correct,
gets.
me too.
And is there a way to track usage?
You know what happens? People park there and they walk down Bolton Point Road to get to the lake.
Yep,
They go down and walk, and they walk their dogs, and they go swimming.
it's lovely walk along.
Yeah, and they're not supposed to. I mean, the ridiculous thing is that it's village property, but it's also restricted because it's Bolton Point, and legally, you're not supposed to cross the railroad. Norfolk Southern has not given us permission to cross the railroad tracks for anything other than servicing the Bolton Point intake
So
building.
how do all of the massive private residences all along that cliff face that all have their funiculars, they all
No,
have,
some of them do, some of them
They
don't.
Well, all the people who have funiculars,
No, some of them do not have any, they just do it.
they don't have anything, they just do it. But people who have to drive across the railroad have to pay the railroad.
so how does Bolton Point get to their access to do maintenance? If the
They
village,
drive down.
the village doesn't have permission to cross?
Bolton Point does.
Bolton Point does,
Oh, absolutely.
okay.
Oh, yeah. They're the utility. But they probably pay for it. I don't even know how that works. They have permission to cross.
What about emergency access if someone needed to be rescued from that stretch of water and that was the fastest way to get a boat in the,
People would just cross it. You know, the railroad isn't going to know unless they're there.
well, I know,
Yeah.
it was interesting looking at that.
Talked about turning that into a park.
So the drive down is a village road,
Yeah, it's in the village.
and they maintain it.
We maintain it. We paved it. Yeah, we paved it.
Publicly accessible right up until the edge of the railroad.
But it says, restricted, there's a bar across the road at the top. You cannot drive.
Drive it, but you can walk.
You can walk it. But the sign says private property or, I don't know, it restricted access because of Bolton Point. I mean, they're very nervous about security. And they are actually going to be expanding that intake building. The last tour I got of the wastewater, of the drinking water plant, I think Steve Riddle said that they would be expanding that. I wanted us to put in an osprey pole down on Poison Ivy Point and leave that as an undeveloped piece of parkland. It's wild down there. There are vernal pools, there are a lot of crazy old native trees, there's a lot of junk.
It's one of the last bits of like sort of wild lakeshore.
It's really crucial for migrating birds.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen wood ducks in there.
So what
There-
happened to the osprey point?
So,
Well,
go ahead.
Osprey Point, I mean,
The osprey pool?
well, we haven't gotten anywhere, because I talked to, it's a whole aside, it's complicated. You have to get a pole in there, and you can't cross the track, so how do you get a pole in and install it on the edge, so you're not,
The boat.
you need a boat, and it has to come in by one of the dock builders, like Knobloch or somebody.
Why? Can't be somebody with a pontoon boat?
And that isn't the way they bring them in, their pole is too long,
you need a barge.
you need a barge to do it, and you need to have the pile driver to get it in.
Okay.
So you have to have a dock builder
Okay.
do it. And that the question was, who's going to pay for the pole? Would the village pony up some money for a pole? It's our land. Would be willing, and I talked to Ronnie about it a long time ago. And it just kind of, it got left up in the air. It was kind of not,
Again, I'll say the same thing. Give me a number and I'll pitch it.
okay.
So assuming that there's never going to be a
A park there.
park there or
not gonna be
permission,
developed.
or permission from the railroad to cross it anyway, would it make sense to do something like a viewing platform that you can look at Poison Ivy Point from the bottom of the road?
I don't think so. It's too far down. I mean, it's too far to the south.
Just a little, like a bird watching platform.
There really isn't a place where you can just do bird watching without crossing the railroad tracks.
So I guess I'm just trying to come up with a reason for there to be a destination at the end of the road that is where you are meant to, you walk down, you've reached your destination, which is not to cross the railroad tracks, but is sort of the end of the park.
Yeah, and
something there that.
I don't think it would work. It's just, the railroad is right there, you have the cliff, and then there's just a little bit of sort of junky stuff off between you and the lake, and there's really nothing to see. It's all so grown up. If you go down there, you don't just stand there on the road and see the lake. You're looking through a huge amount of stuff. There's really nothing to see. The best way to bird that area is to walk the railroad bed.
Right.
And otherwise, it's really not. And the cliff is right there.
Okay.
To the railroad bed. I mean, we did a cleanup there, and it's a screwy place. It's a cattail marsh now. There are a huge amount of cattails in there, so there probably are muskrats and who knows what else in there, but you can see it as sort of a natural.
I'm very familiar with it. I've been down.
Yeah. No, it's a great little spot. Larry and I walked it a few years ago, about this time of year, and it's just so constricted at the Bolton Point intake end that there's no place to really see anything.
Yeah, you can see
It's
it.
hard to describe. If you go there, you would see what I mean.
Could there be, does the village own everything from the railroad tracks up to Black Chin?
Yeah.
Could there be a trail through that land? It's cliff face. I know it's steep,
Super steep.
but there's other trails on steep areas around. I mean, just a footpath.
We looked at the possibility of putting a trail in from the northwest corner of Black Chin where it turns. Can you pull that down a little bit, Larry?
Yeah.
And show the road? There we go.
Yeah.
So, but
There's
there's a
your road.
very,
Here's power lines. You can see there's a cut it through for the
okay,
power lines.
can you lower that a little bit more?
What do you mean by lower?
No, just pull the whole map toward you more so that you can see the corner of Black Chin. Yeah, all right, okay, now move in onto the corner and a little to the north. Keep going, a little more to the north. All right, so there's a very steep gorge there, much deeper than anything I had ever expected. When we walked it, we realized we had planned a trail down that way from the corner.
Conversation before.
And it scared the hell out of us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see
The
it.
attractive news that somebody could fall in there and you'd never hear from them again.
Literally a cliff, huh?
Okay, well,
It's just very, very steep land, and honestly, I think what people do is just walk the road to get to the lake. They get in the lake, and it's whatever it is, I mean, it's not legal,
yeah.
so everyone does it.
So I guess just for the purposes of this plan, having sort of a statement of what this committee at least thinks the long-term strategy for this should be, which it sounds like is just leave it alone.
That was my long-term strategy.
change a thing.
Absolutely, leave it alone. Leave it wild. Let's not organize it. We've got parks all over the village.
But I would expand the Black Chin Park description to include all of the village-owned land that is all connected in that space, and we say the activated amenity park area is the existing Black Chin Park, as just the parking area, the stormwater thing, the.
That's all it is, yeah.
And the rest of that is left as wild ecological
Yep.
benefit, and that's what it should be.
And those steep slopes have got to remain that way. I mean, you can't go cutting trails through them. I think they're just
Okay.
steep, they're too erodible.
And that's, yeah, and that's fine.
Yeah,
And
that makes good sense.
I understand what you're saying, and I like
Yeah,
that.
I like that.
But I don't think we should pretend it doesn't.
Right, it should be part of the park, but this is the activated.
Yeah.
And that
Looking at it from a holistic perspective, I like that, that it's doing good ecosystem services, and not too far to the south of that. Larry, can you pull way back so we can see the whole shoreline?
Oh, this area specifically?
No, that you're too far out now. God, look at the silt plume. And
Yeah.
orient it again, so we're looking at the cliff face. Yeah, there we go. Now, can you just move it to the south? I want to watch the shoreline and the houses that are there. Oh, God, it's not that cliff, it's further north.
What are you thinking about?
Well, there's peregrine falcons now nest on those cliffs. This is the second or third year that they've actually successfully raised several chicks. This year they had 3. And they're on the cliffs. So we're also into, some really great wildlife habitat, just leave them alone. But they're actually right next to the house that has the really complicated stairway thing that they built. It's a huge cage. It's at 1500 North East Shore Drive. It's beyond the Dean property, so it's beyond Bolton Point. It's a little further north of Bolton Point, just north of Bolton Point.
There's Bolton Point. Oh, we're looking at my screen now. I don't think the cage shows up in this.
There. Yeah,
It's somewhere in here. I know what
Yeah.
you're talking about, but I don't think it picked up on Google Earth yet.
Are you north of Bolton Point now?
Yeah, we're just north.
Keep going, because there's some really nice houses along there. Oh, I know where it is. It's on East Shore Drive, so it's further to the south. Never mind.
Wait.
That's Bolton Point right there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of the houses to the south. So right below those 3 or 4 houses that are hanging on the cliff, there's a peregrine falcon eyrie.
Cool.
Yeah, which is new.
Okay.
All right.
The only other thing I'll leave on this is across the village line, and I don't know where the village's property extends to, because I know a lot of this land is
Some of it is,
Robert Butler, the old
it's a Butler land.
comes all the way down to the lake. But
It does, yeah.
there could be some, if there were ever going to be a connection, it would be over towards the what's it called? Bolton Point Road, which does not actually connect.
But it's, again, you're in unbelievably steep terrain.
Yeah.
So access to the lake that way, I think, is not going to make a lot of sense.
So it wouldn't be access to the lake, it would be behind the private cottages that are on the lake to the road that comes down Sun Path
Oh.
on the town.
Yeah, but what it would connect to, I don't know.
Just in terms of a global.
Cayuga
trail
Hills, I
plan.
mean, whatever that's called.
It's just in terms of a global,
Uh-huh.
global trails plan for the village.
Right.
And getting all the neighborhoods to be somehow linked to all the.
But this part, it would be serving mostly properties on the town side of the line.
Yeah.
There isn't a lot of
Yeah.
residential density on the village side, so.
We've talked about on the town side, connecting those areas. So as those conversations continue, I'll keep an eye out for them.
Maybe someday the railroad won't be in business, but it looks like they'll be in business again hauling coal.
Oh,
Data center goes in, we're screwed,
yeah,
absolutely screwed.
just read about that.
So much for our greenhouse gas emission reductions efforts.
Because we have to have artificial intelligence do everything now, right?
Every time you
Data
ask
centers,
Siri, we're all part of the problem. But anyway,
Okay, this was really, really great in terms of, I'm seeing some real, like, future planning vision, which is what I really want. I just do not like it when something just gets planted,
so
placed.
speaking of
without
trails,
more thought.
this is not parks necessarily, but what's happening with the Lansing Trail planning to intersect with Village
Well,
Trail?
that's what we were talking about, so we started. So
Okay.
I joined the Trails Committee
Yeah, I know
about 2
you
years
did.
ago.
I know you did.
And immediately they were like, hey, help us connect to the village.
Yeah.
And I was like, great, went with Mike Scott, we mapped out 3 possible routes, Route A,
I
Route B,
think I sat in on one of those meetings.
and then I realized that these guys move like this, and they're not gonna really be talking about the village part for a decade.
Okay,
So I just sort of, I attend the meetings and I participate as a town person, but
yeah,
right now they're just trying to get from the town center to Myers Park.
Right,
So they
That's a
have
big
gotten
priority.
two grants.
okay.
So they have both a feasibility study for the whole project and, sorry, a planning study for the whole project and a feasibility study for the Myers portion. And both those are rolling right now. So in May, they will have a master plan and drawn plans for that so they can build it.
Great,
Hopefully they're just gonna,
and then are they gonna do it in phases?
yeah, that's phase one. And then phase two is from the ball fields to the school.
To get to Myers, are they gonna go down the road?
Just down the road, that's it. They already own all the land.
Through the school district or something?
They own all the land they need to just get from the school to Myers. But then they want to get from the ball fields to the school. And somebody named Conroy, is one property that they need to get.
And it's a holdout.
So, well, they're still, they're massaging, they're working on it.
You have to wait a while. I mean, I remember,
They're doing a lot of public outreach right now. They're doing like a survey, they're going to some fire events, some veterans events, some other things. Trying to move people in the direction of trails.
usually what happens is you get everybody at both ends up to the holdout, and the holdout sits there, and the holdout sits there, and finally the holdout realizes that they're just not doing a lot of good by holding out.
What I think that they realize is that having a trail in your backyard
Is
makes
a
your
boon.
better.
More
not
valuable.
worse.
Well, this happened with the East Hill Recreation
Yeah,
Way.
it's better. Everybody loves living on a trail.
Yeah,
Living on a trail is way better for you than having like a formal dining room where you can host Christmas dinner, which is like once a year. You just want to live on a trail. So,
Well, I guess what would be helpful for the village side planning is when phase 3, 4, whenever the town is ready to make that, the village could sort of get ahead of it and say, where would we want
I
the
can show
connection
you.
to
We can
be?
talk about, if you guys wanted to make that the topic for our next meeting, we can talk about
I
that.
think that would be really helpful, because it helps to look at the big picture of connectivity.
Okay.
And a big piece of the narrative of the original Greenway plan was this connection to the town
Right.
network.
Okay, so I'll share that. That can be our agenda for October. We have a couple of small action items that each of us are gonna take. You're gonna maybe reach out to Design Connect?
Okay,
Is
yeah.
that what-
I'll talk to the tree
I
guys.
just know that you were at the top. You said you were gonna call somebody.
I was gonna get you a contact at Cornell
Okay.
for the landscape architecture
Yeah, yeah,
department
yeah.
to see if they have someone
Not
who
Design
might,
Connect, the other
who might be
landscape
interested in,
talk to
could be
Johnson
design architecture, it could
And,
be.
and doing the trees. I'll get you guys what I have for the possible connection to the town and some of the maps and stuff that I have from that.
Okay.
So you can see that, we can start talking about that connection.
I had a list of other sort of general stuff, but I know we're,
I mean,
For time,
do you
we-
guys want to leave it for next time, or just hear the rest of this for 15 more minutes?
if you'll
I'd say
indulge
go
me.
for it.
Okay.
I have time.
So generally, in terms of all of the various parks, I think figuring out what amenities you already have and some of what you might have enough of or too much of. For example, the 3 half basketball courts, right? I wouldn't build any more of those. You've got 2 soccer fields, if I'm counting correctly. 1 baseball backdrop, but not really a full diamond. It overlaps with the soccer.
Yeah.
3 or 4 playgrounds. Three parks have playgrounds.
Right.
With Marion Hill, Hartell, I'm never gonna get that right. If they're separated. But that is quite a few playgrounds for
Right.
the size of the village.
Right.
They're small playgrounds and they're
Right.
scattered around, but
Right.
there's no big, if someone wants to go to a big playground, they're gonna go to Stewart Park,
Yeah,
honestly. 3 pavilions, they're all about the same size, so there's no like big,
There is a big pavilion at Marion Hartill. That's a big,
I'd call it medium,
yeah, I mean, it's big enough for.
larger, it is
a
large,
bunch of picnic tables.
yeah.
All the rest of them have maybe 1 to 2 tables.
so it's
Right.
diversifying what we have.
Diversifying,
Not being
so-
so repetitive.
Yeah, so some other possibilities, you mentioned pickleball, that's huge right now in terms of popularity. I mentioned the full basketball court, hockey. So you mentioned ice hockey, ponds are not freezing the way they used to.
No, they're not trustworthy.
Is there, do you think there would be an interest in having even if it's just a leveled space where one of those temporary hockey things get set up and you fill it with a hose?
I don't know who would do it.
Sometimes people do that in their backyard.
I know
I
some
did it in
people,
my backyard.
Yeah.
For years. Well, my kids used to skate. My
Yeah.
husband built a skating rink in our backyard for about 7 years.
there's one up on Oak Crest. They had some in their backyard for a while.
Well, would that be something that could be,
I mean, that would be a big draw.
yeah,
To be honest, that would
Yeah.
be huge. I'm interested in creatively bringing people into the village and providing creative amenities, and honestly, nobody's doing that.
so a lot of municipalities will have a park that also, they have a flat level space and then they pave it with asphalt.
And then you can do,
It's a roller hockey
Right.
in the summer, and then you flood it and freeze it in the winter. So it's something you don't currently have, could have. Grills,
what?
picnic grills,
Oh, grills.
grilling,
No, we have no grills.
water, drinking fountains.
Yeah, we talked about a drinking fountain for Marion Hartel, and I've forgotten why we decided not to do it.
I wasn't around then, but I definitely think we should have it,
I think you've got to have water,
especially with all the, heat problems that are
well,
coming up.
especially if they're athletic parks.
Yeah.
I was especially gonna say pickleball courts and basketball
it.
courts.
And soccer,
Yeah, and we need to add water too.
yeah.
What else did I have in here? Exercise equipment is really popular, like stations.
Trails,
Fitness trails, they have that down on the waterfront trail, Cass Park,
Yeah, they have-
sort of stations.
yep.
Where would we do that? That would be at Marion Hartel.
Well,
Yeah,
the,
around that perimeter.
Yeah, if you have a 1 mile trail and
Army Trail, yeah.
some doctors prescribe that.
if you go to Northwoods, they have stations inside their, set of stations inside their area.
They
And they
do?
don't look like they're, yeah, and they have poles you're supposed to stretching on and.
Oh,
all
that's
that
cool.
thing. And, but they don't look like they're ever used.
I think that if we do create this 1 mile loop, it should have those stations the same as Cass Park. That's a really good idea.
We already mentioned the bandstand or outdoor theater. It's,
If you're gonna do that and have a big draw, you've got to have parking.
I just don't think, Marion Hartel's so tucked away.
or a available parking lot that's a short walk on a sidewalk or trail. It doesn't have to be parking directly next to it.
Park at the mall, and we can buy the Sundown Farms.
There you go.
And the last one, which is big money, bathrooms. There's no bathrooms.
Nope.
They're a huge maintenance issue. They're not cheap. You have to build them twice as big as you used to because of ADA compliance and,
And they're big structures now.
yeah. They can be done,
I like the composting,
I think
Yeah,
that
those
of
are-
all the ideas we
waterless
said,
toilets.
John's gonna hate me for about 50% of them, but that one,
Yeah,
he's just.
he's gonna say, not over my
Wait
dead
till I'm
body.
gone.
Wait till I'm gone.
You're not putting bathrooms in on my
no,
watch.
that's the reaction I'm used to getting.
So, yeah, he is retiring in 5 years, but.
It's not how long it
I don't
takes to
even
get a
think I should
bathroom built these days
I don't
anyway.
even think I should mention it for 5 years.
Yeah, beyond that, I think having some type of public outreach to ask the community what they would like to see in their park. I know that was sort of already done as part of what got me invited to these meetings.
How about more ADA accessible activities?
So I did note that there's relatively good ADA accessibility, particularly in the newer built pieces, but in Merriam Hill, Hart Hill, the playground areas, the asphalt walkway does not actually connect directly up to.
You'll have to go over grass.
Still have to go over grass, so it is not ADA compliant. Wood chip is an ADA compliant surface, so if you can get from the asphalt to the wood chip,
Or stone,
think
or
that we
stone
should
dust.
make that-
stone dust,
Yeah.
you're
That's a
good.
do list.
But
Because
currently,
that should connect.
currently you can't. In Dankert, the access to the playground is over the basketball court. So
That is
if someone's,
A hard surface.
it's a hard surface, technically it's okay, but it doesn't go all the way to the pavilion. If we're reorganizing all of that, that's kind of a moot point.
Yeah,
We would
it's-
integrate that into the new design.
Right.
But if everything was gonna stay where it is, I would say, put a new asphalt path from the parking lot to the pavilion that also connects to the
We've talked
basketball
about
court,
that.
that also connects to the
Yeah.
playground, instead of having to.
Yeah, yeah.
Global Village probably isn't really handicap accessible, is it?
Uh,
I mean, how do you
Walk
get
in,
there
right? Why can't you just walk in and then you,
if you can't walk?
right,
No,
I'm saying,
you
but you can just enter, it's a flat.
there's a paved path from the crosswalk, so you can park at Dankert.
Yeah, that's the only entrance though, isn't it? I mean, that's the only way to get in.
Yeah, you have to.
A wheelchair would be that way.
Then you're on the path, and that does take you all the way to the wood chip.
That's sort of okay.
Trash cans, I don't know,
Yeah,
I want trash cans. I love trash cans.
they have trash cans.
there are a lot of trash cans.
Yeah,
Okay.
My comment on that is, if you're replacing or getting new trash cans, they should probably all just be the same style and size. You got a collection of different types.
they seemed like in Dankert and Marion Hartill, they were the same.
I think I was seeing some older ones
They have sort of the
in,
canopy top, and then they're open on four sides, and then it's sort of like a stone base or stone pebble-covered base sort of thing.
no, the ones at Merriam
Hartill.
Hill, thank you, are all steel. They don't have the pebble
Oh, okay.
to them. So I think it's just a different era.
Part of making the village having a brand
Yeah,
would be, we would have uniformity in our parks.
which I think you do for like the benches. The benches all look the same.
Speaking of having a brand, you know, I've been talking about having a village logo designed forever. And Patrick Gillespie has a partner at work who designs logos for municipalities.
Oh, how cool
He
is
did
that?
Hammond Sport and someplace else cute.
We had someone do ours with a little bird on it, you know.
I'm sorry if you were the picker of it.
I wasn't the picker.
But I feel like those trees look like they're drawn by a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
I really dislike those trees.
Well, let's get a new logo.
So anyway, we're working on it. I want a new logo, I want a brand, I wanted to brand the village, cutify the village, have all these signage, wayfinding for the trails.
And then people will
Yeah.
think about this as a village instead of a
Right.
pass-through.
I want it to be a cohesive place. So little details like the trash cans are, to be honest, a small step, but an important one.
The other general notes I had, crosswalks. Specifically, I was just looking at Graham Road real quickly, and there's a nice sidewalk all along the edge of it, but then when you get to what are really driveways, but they're built like road crossings, you don't have the.
There's no zebra.
Crossing. There's no, yeah, and there's also no detectable warning, so it's just, you know, that's relatively minor, but you do see that in a lot of locations, especially there's like extra wide drives where you're going a long way across, and sometimes it's in bad shape, there's potholes, or it's kind of gravelly.
Okay.
And that should be village right-of-way, is it not? If our sidewalk is going across a driveway, that's still in our right-of-way.
I would think so, yeah.
If it's not in good shape, we need to repair it.
And a lot of these are private streets that probably
What are you
should
looking at
have.
right now? Where is that?
So this is Graham Road,
Are you looking at, what
we're back behind the shopping.
is that Village Meadows?
I don't know that.
I know.
That
You
one,
are-
it's, so the mall's over here.
Yeah, I think that's Village Meadows, I think it's called.
Where are you talking about?
So like where this,
The Meadows at Ithaca, it says the Meadows.
I think that's the Meadows.
yeah, it's just a very large,
Okay,
Across from Swart House.
you want
just striping the ladder across
Okay,
there, so it's
okay.
clear that that is a pedestrian crossing.
Okay,
And then at that section, again, you have those trails coming down from, you know, this connection from Merriam Hartill Park through the woods, it comes down, it empties onto the street on Church Hill Drive,
Yeah,
and there's no trailhead, there's no pedestrian
And there's no
way,
sidewalk.
there's no sidewalk, there isn't really even much of a shoulder. and then there's no way to cross, you're just sort of crossing the street, and then you don't have, it's just not a good connect. But if it were connected, great, you're now on the sidewalk network that takes you all around the village.
Yeah, which is also part of the trail system in a way.
So that's just, it's just a gap
Yeah.
in like the pedestrian way.
Yeah,
There's a couple different locations around, I don't need to go through all of them, but
yeah.
it's where it's like, it almost connects, but not quite. Or the connection is on street.
Well, we've been working on filling those gaps. I mean, that was what we were doing all
Yeah.
last year, I was
Right.
filling gaps in the sidewalks, so yeah.
We just can't build them all out in 1 year.
But we got to keep, we should have a list of the gaps, and then we'll tackle one at a time.
So the other big picture connection, you know, thinking about Shannon Park, and I guess you just walk on the street, right? If you were gonna come
Yeah.
up to the mall, there is that connection through to the mall, which is great, but
Yeah.
it just sort of dumps you out onto the loop road in just the most deadly, desolate place in the back.
Oh, it's a mess.
I know we don't own the mall.
They're not filling potholes, they're not doing anything to the mall.
So what would you recommend there?
If there was some way to get a dedicated connection to the actual mall entrance, so you're not wandering through a giant sea of asphalt, or alternatively, or in addition, some way to come around the perimeter of the mall and connect back up to the sidewalks on either side of the mall, if it was
See the green space there on the
this,
southeast corner there?
Yeah.
That is an out parcel, and that actually is zoned as an out parcel that belongs to the mall. And years ago, when Eric still owned everything, we approved the idea of a mixed-use building. I remember, multi-story, like two-story mixed use, so you could have apartments on top and shops at the bottom. Of course, that never happened, knowing Eric, you know. So there's still just, and they dump a lot of stuff there. When they clean up their driveways, they dump all their snow there. It's kind of a trash
yeah,
spot.
man's life.
It's not flat, I mean, it's a hill, but it's possible that a trail could come up around that.
Well, when they come to develop that, we need the planning board to know
Yeah,
that that should be a trail connector.
yeah.
I think that's.
It's kind of a no man's land right now, and it's just, they have probably, the mall owners, God knows what they have planned for the mall, because it's half dead already.
Yeah, but I think that's the main comment, just the mall in general and the parcels around it, making sure that when new proposals come through, that the village leverages as much as they can to
But
get,
you can walk directly from that path right up into Regal to that.
It doesn't bother
entrance.
me, I walk
That
up it all the
doesn't-
time.
There's an
It
entrance.
doesn't
enough
bother
traffic.
me.
You can get into the mall right there, and
I see what you're saying, but.
there's not
it
much
doesn't-
traffic.
I just, and then sometimes I'm going left and sometimes I'm going right. So I don't think a path across would really get me very far, because I typically, if I'm going to Tops, I'm gonna go to the right. If
Yeah.
I'm going to Target, I'm gonna go to the left. If I'm going to Regal, I'm gonna go straight.
okay.
Okay, hold on. Should have a path connecting Shannon Park to the top sidewalk. Okay. Okay, a lot of good ideas.
That's a great
Okay.
idea, yeah.
So we'll move forward with a few of the smaller things. We'll talk next time about how we want to connect to Lansing and look at their maps that they've proposed and the A, B, and C proposal that Mike, Scott, and I developed last year. And we can talk about moving some of these ideas forward as well, that we've talked about today, and start developing a plan.
Good,
Thanks, guys.
yeah, thank
I
you.
really do not want piecemeal.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It drives me crazy, so I really want plans. What I want to know is how I can look at this on my computer at home. So can you show me exactly what I should do if I go, you think I can download Google Earth Pro?
I think so.
Do you pay for it?
Well, he does, but he can see.
I don't think I do.
Free?
I don't
I don't
think so.
think you don't need to download anything special to get the village map with all of the stuff.
Yeah, so.
I know, but it looks so nice right now.
Where was I had it,
Are all, who marked up this map? Is this
I
yours?
made this map.
Okay,
But it doesn't look like this when I look at it on my computer. It looks like,
yeah.
okay.
It's satellite
I'll
view.
play with it.
And you just need to hit satellite view.
And hit the satellite view.
Yeah,
Okay,
because that is a satellite shot,
sounds good.
probably.
Thank you, Larry. Hopefully you can join us
No,
next.
I actually, I don't know why, but I've been seeing the screen, Jacob's screen. And you were able to see my screen, so,
Yeah,
Okay.
okay, good.
yeah, whatever it was, it fixed. I don't know how I did it.
Okay,
I'll say one last thing. I know
Wait, are you
I've been dominating this a little
No,
bit,
totally
but
great. Okay.
a connection from Village Hall where we sit now up to the Lansing trails, through the woods, up the hill. I know there's,
from,
can't have, because there's privately owned,
I think it's because you go up through,
Fire equipment, there's too much stuff up there.
there's all the DPW equipment's up there and all the storage, and they just don't want people parking here and walking through there. It's an access issue.
okay.
It's a nice woodlot. It's full of deer,
It just seemed like that's
illogical.
this is like the community hall, and then the trails should all kind of,
There's no way to get here, except by the sidewalks.
exactly.
But
You can come down
St.
through
Joseph, St. Joseph's,
St. Joseph's.
Yeah.
And that's right up here, just 2 doors down.
yeah. And then you connect to the sidewalk.
Yeah.
okay,
More direct.
all right.
Okay, everybody, thanks.
I'll let you do
Thank you.
so I don't lose the recording. I'm here. Thank you so much, Joe.